Hold fast to dreams, for if dreams die, life is like a broken winged bird that cannot fly. Hold fast to dreams, for when dreams go, life is like a barren field, frozen with snow. Langston Hughes. Jenny's house was always a faith journey. This wasn't a project that we undertook, knowing every angle and how to traverse every problem. Our roadmap really was our heart.
Families in Recovery program is important because there are women all over the state, all over the world, who are looking for a place to be with their children.
Jamie Stevenson, who's the first selectman of Darien, had asked me to come and meet with you folks, and I was so delighted to do that. And we went into the small room and had lunch, and some of the women came in to tell me their stories. I was really struck by their passion and enthusiasm, but also their stories were just so, they were just so gripping.
My addiction started when I was about 14. Fell in love with a guy that was older than me, and his sisters, you know, they were also addicts. His family, his mother was an alcoholic. My side of the family, my mother was also an alcoholic, single mother, heroin addict. So I kind of was raised in it. It was the norm in my house. If you didn't get high, then there was something wrong with you.
When I was about 10, I lost my father to alcohol poisoning. About the same year, I started drinking and smoking pot. I felt like maybe the alcohol made me closer to him. When I was 16, I tried PCP for my first time. So that continued for maybe 2 or 3 years, nonstop, all day, every day. And then I found out I was pregnant.
My grandmother started dying when I was 23. A friend gave me a pill, and at the time I didn't know what, Percocets or any of that was. I was always into sports, art, music. So I started to take the pills, and the next thing I knew, I was addicted. It's difficult in a sense that on the days that I'm sick, dope sick, or I can't get out of bed, and he needs me to get up and change his diaper or make him something to eat, or he wants to play, and I don't have energy to even get up and take a shower or any of that, so I couldn't even take care of myself, let alone the little kid. And it's painful to watch him, want to play and do all these things that I can't do for him just because I'm sick. So it's selfish. It's not fair to him. He didn't ask for that life. So it's like my addiction takes him down and my family down too. So I had to surrender, so that's why I came here.
Because they are the glue person in the family and take on more emotional responsibility for their children, they need a place to come where they're not feeling threatened by losing their children. That's what Families in Recovery does. So they get here, and the first thing that they need to do is they need to get some rest, and they need to come to reality about the fact that they're in treatment. So that's almost a shocker to them.
I came up here after my 30-day program, and I'm here. And I've been here for about 4 months. It's been a long road, but liberation has changed my life.
There's some simple things that we take for granted every day. You pick up your car keys. You have a car to drive you wherever you need to go. You go home at night and there's a refrigerator and there's some food in that refrigerator. And then when you shower, you look at your bed and you turn it down and you get a peaceful night's sleep. There are 25,000 women in our state who will go to a place, but it's not a safe place. It's not anything that they would call home, and it won't be a warm bed.
We lost our apartment. We started sleeping in the back of a van. I was doing whatever to get money for us. And it just became too much. I just couldn't take it no more. And I found out I was pregnant with this baby. So I left, and I've been here for 4 months now. I'm clean. I intend to stay this way. My child's healthy. I still have a relationship with my 2-year-old.
Being a parent and having a substance abuse problem, it's tremendously scary for me because I grew up with addiction around, and even though my mom always tried to make it seem like everything was okay, I knew. As a child, I knew. And although my son's very young, that's why I want to get it now, because I don't want him to have to go through or see things that I had to see.
The mothers are in recovery. We're in here trying to get help, but the children also are having to learn schedules and be taught, and somebody has to look after them while we're in groups. So it is a little challenging, but you know, it's a plus to have a program that's willing to work with that aspect of our addiction, you know, because we are mothers on top of being an addict.
I've kind of grown up here. I'm an alumnus from Liberation Programs as well. And 22 years ago, I was in Liberation House when it was a co-ed program. And after completing that program, I had a job at a hotel. My sister was working at Liberation and called me and told me that there was a new program opening. And I applied for the job. And June 13th of 1994, we made our first bed here. And I remember it was room 404. And we walked into the room and we had all the linen. And there was another lady who was working with me. And we made the bed and we took pictures and we did a high five. So 7 years ago, I made a statement. It was a dream. It didn't have a lot of hope attached to it, but it was a dream. And I was sitting in the Norwalk office, and there were board members there, and we were talking about what to do with Elmcrest. And I simply said, why can't we move Verve here?
When I went to speak with Lou and Virginia Bantle, Jenny, we call her Jenny, to talk about building a center where women and children could be safe, that women could go and have treatment and not have to choose between treatment and having their children in foster care. And then the idea that we can create apartments so that those women wouldn't end up in homelessness and addiction and incarceration. You know, Lou looked up and stopped eating his spaghetti and asked Jenny, what do you think? And Jenny said, I think you ought to help that kid.
This is one of the biggest visions and the biggest dreams that I've had for the last 7 years, that I can't tell you how excited I am that we're finally at the place where there will be a ribbon cutting, and I'm a part of it.
My husband and I set up our foundation, the Vince and Linda McMahon Family Foundation, and we focus on two things. One, that's education, and the other are women and families at risk. So it's in our wheelhouse. And when we were asked about a contribution, to the facility, our foundation was very happy to do that.
But with the support of Linda and Vince, we really will be setting a new standard in treatment for women and children. This really, I'm talking about a national standard, not just a standard for Connecticut.
The new space for the Women at the Families in Recovery program, it's gonna be a dream realized.
My hope and my dream for my son would be to be a respectable, trustworthy, and loyal person.
Well, the one dream that I would have for me and my baby would for me to remain addiction-free and to stay in recovery and to be able to be the best mother I could be for him.
Well, I just want to cherish every moment I have clean so that I can build memories and build my relationships back. And I'm just excited.
I can almost see that first Saturday morning when one of the young ladies wakes up, stretches her arms out, jumps out of the bed and go hug their kids and start cooking some bacon and eggs, and just looking around and saying, wow, What a safe place. This is my home.